Hey, how's it going? Long time no see. So this video is actually not planned at all. I actually just recently watched Zack Snyder's Justice League and I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it, even though this wasn't really planned. I'm actually in the middle of making two videos right now on top of this one that I'm making right now. They're coming, don't worry, they're coming, but it's gonna take me some time. But yeah, I wrote no notes for this video. This is gonna be completely off of like what's going on up in here, so this video may be a little chaotic, but yeah, this is just gonna kind of be my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League and what I thought about it, because holy shit, this movie kind of surprised me. There's a lot of people talking about this movie right now, and I figured I'd just jump on that bandwagon and, you know, talk about this while I still can, because I feel like if I wait like a week or two to talk about this, nobody's gonna give a shit about it anymore. So this is why I'm doing it now. But so yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I guess I should start off by telling you guys my thoughts on Zack Snyder and the whole DCEU as a whole. As far as Zack Snyder goes as a filmmaker, you know, I'm a little indifferent towards him. I think his films are very visually stunning, and I think he does a really good job at creating this atmosphere that catches whatever aesthetic that he's going for. I think his movies all look very, very good. He loves his slow-mo shots, he loves his prolonged action sequences, he loves his shirtless strong men, you know, he's got his style down, he's got his thing going. As far as the DCU goes, you know, when I first heard about it, it kind of sounded like they were trying to jump on this, you know, cinematic universe bandwagon, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know, being the main contender. So I guess, you know, Warner Brothers wanted to do the same thing, but with DC Comics. So they very quickly set up a line of movies that they were planning on doing in the future. The problem is, I personally felt as if they kind of rushed it a little too much. You know, they released Man of Steel in 2013, which I personally thought was alright, and then they released Batman vs Superman, which I also didn't really care for. And yeah, like, it just all felt like it was coming at us way too fast. We were being introduced to these characters who we pretty much knew nothing about, you know, as far as in terms of the story that they're trying to tell. Of course we know about Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, but we don't know him in this way, you know what I mean? So I felt like there needed to be some sort of establishment and development with these characters before they even went on to do something as crazy as, you know, Batman v Superman. And I know that we're supposed to know the characters already, like, you know, it's already implied that Batman is very much a superhero, Superman's very much a superhero. You know, they even hinted, I think, in Batman v Superman that Robin was killed from the Joker in the past, I believe, since, you know, he's looking over at his suit and it says "ha-ha" written all over it. So obviously we're supposed to know these characters already. And obviously in the world of these characters, they are supposed to already be superheroes. But still, you know, like a Batman standalone movie would have been nice. And although we did get a Superman standalone movie, it still didn't feel like enough, seeing how big of a world that they were trying to build, you know, with the cinematic universe. So then 2017 comes along and we get Justice League, directed by Zack Snyder. Although it is not directed by Zack Snyder, it is directed by pretty much entirely Joss Whedon. So basically, if you've been living under a rock, I'll go ahead and tell you the story of how this movie came about. So Zack Snyder was set to direct 3 Justice League movies, I believe. I think he was going to do a whole trilogy. And he got pretty far into production in 2017 with his first Justice League movie. However, something horrible happened in which his daughter Autumn tragically committed suicide. So he kind of stopped mid-production and thought to himself, you know, I can't do this at this time, and he, you know, handed the torch over to Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon kind of took over for the time being. So these unfortunate circumstances prompted Zack Snyder to leave the project, and, you know, just kind of, oh shit, doorbell's ringing. Hope it's my package. All right. Oh, looks like you guys also get an unboxing video along with this unplanned Justice League Zack Snyder video. Let's see what I got. Woo! Purple Panda. Lavieres. I needed to buy some. I kind of wanted to do some interviews and some future videos, but obviously with the pandemic still kind of going on, it's kind of hard to do that. I kind of wanted to go to like conventions and interview some people and talk about, you know, shit, but, you know, maybe sometime in the future. Fuck yeah! Whiteboard markers. I love these things, dude. Love them so much. Whoa! Gorilla Tape. I actually really needed this. This is heavy duty. I believe it's double-sided. Please tell me it's double-sided, because if it's not, I'm gonna fucking cry. It is double-sided. Okay, cool. Nice. Alright, I'm a happy boy. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Zack Snyder. So yeah, due to these unfortunate circumstances, he was prompted to leave the production and handed the torch over to Joss Whedon. And then in 2017, Justice League was released, and wow, holy shit, this movie is a fucking mess. You can clearly tell that this movie was made by two completely different people with two completely different visions. You can definitely tell that Joss Whedon kind of took over a little bit, and he did a lot of reshoots. He did a lot of reshoots where the characters would just crack these awkward, unfunny jokes to each other, and then he would include just these really random sequences that cohesively make no sense at all. Nothing about the movie flowed well particularly, like it just felt like one big jumbled mess that was unfinished, yet I had no desire to ever finish whatever the complete product would be, and that's a problem. I'm just waiting for this fucking airplane. Are we done? Alright. So, Joss Whedon, I lost my train of thought, motherfucker! So Joss Whedon, for those of you who don't know, he directed the first Avengers movie. The MCU, you know, the MCU is so much more different stylistically than what Zack Snyder was trying to go for his Justice League movies. And when you have the guy who's, you know, behind the Avengers movies trying to work on your movie, which is a completely different style, it's not gonna work. And obviously it didn't, because Joss Whedon tried to make the movie a lot more lighthearted and fun, I guess, was what he was trying to go for, whereas Zack Snyder's, you know, intentional vision is just a lot more dark and a lot more brooding and gritty, and you know, it did not mix well at all, especially after now finally seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. I actually watched this video on YouTube. I think it was like Joss Whedon's the worst lines said in Joss Whedon's Justice League. And it's like a 7-minute video. It's one of the funniest fucking shit I've ever seen. Especially, I watched it immediately after watching the Zack Snyder's Justice League, because I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos on it. I'll go ahead and post in the link in the description, because it's pretty funny. I would recommend you watch it. But yeah, that just goes to show you just how vastly different the 2017 version is to this new Zack Snyder version. It's uncanny how different the two are from each other. They feel like two completely different movies. And so, of course, as all of you may know, I'm not going to get into this too much, because all of you already know this story, but you know, a bunch of fans were very upset that Zack Snyder did not get to release the film in his initial vision. The hashtag released a Snyder cut started going on, and you know, apparently Zack Snyder heard. He was listening, and so was Warner Brothers and apparently HBO Max, because they released a full 4-hour cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League this month in March of 2021. They released it exclusively on HBO Max, so I don't think there's a way to watch it in theaters, unfortunately, which is a shame, because this is definitely a movie that I would love to watch this movie in theaters. This shit would be awesome on the big screen. But still, I was very, very impressed by this movie. I was surprised. This movie is good. This is a good fucking superhero movie. I was blown away. I was blown away by this. I probably like this Zack Snyder's Justice League movie more than any movie to come out of the MCU. And that's not to say that I don't like any of the movies from the MCU. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, you know, and I like Infinity War. But this movie is kind of almost exactly what I want from a superhero movie of this stature, you know what I mean? This is exactly what I wanted a superhero movie to be. This is what I've been craving to watching for after all these years of just, you know, the same Marvel movie being released over and over again. And although, you know, I like I said, I like the Marvel movies, but they're just, it's the same shit over and over again, and I get tired of it so easily. It's like you're going to the theater to watch the same exact movie 22 times, and honestly, you know, if you like that kind of stuff, it's not a problem, but I personally just wanted something a little bit more. I was getting a little bit sick and tired of it, not gonna lie. And this movie fucking delivered. It really did. I was genuinely surprised by how well this turned out. This feels like you're watching an actual movie with characters that are fleshed out and characters that have a bunch of development to them and background to them, and you care about these characters. That is one thing that the 2017, you know, Whedon Justice League movie was lacking, was the characters. There was no development with the characters. They just kind of all show up and they're like, oh, we're a team now, and then they just do shit, and there's there's no development or there's no relationship between these characters, whereas in this movie I cared about each individual character, you know, just the same amount. Especially Cyborg's character. Dude, Cyborg was really redeemed in this movie. There was a whole other backstory included in this movie that was not in the original 2017 movie that, oh my god, it just made the whole experience and movie so much more better, and I fucking cared what was going on, not only for Cyborg, but just the whole plot in general. Like, I actually cared, I was invested in what was going on. But yeah, this is definitely Cyborg's movie, you know, he got a lot of backstory here. I actually really cared for his character, I really empathized with him, unlike in the 2017 version where he honestly just shows up. You don't know what his powers are, or what he's even doing, or why he's there. He's just a fucking cyborg, and you know, they don't really go into depth on who he is or what his backstory is, as opposed to this movie, this new one, where they really go into, you know, detail what his backstory is, you know, why he is significant to this story, and it works. It really works. Same thing with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman kicked fucking ass in this movie. She probably kicked the most ass out of anybody in this entire movie. She had some really great action sequences. Yeah, Wonder Woman was fucking awesome. Superman was cool too. Obviously, you know, everybody knows Superman, you know, he was treated well. I really liked his scenes. No more fucking weird CGI'd mouth and just really awkward scenes, you know. Like, Superman actually, I think almost all the scenes that he had in this movie were, like, I think they were different from the 2017 version, because I don't really remember a lot of the scenes that Superman is in this movie that, you know, were in the 2017 movie. I just remember him showing up just being really awkward and cringy, and yeah, it was a shit show. But, you know, I liked Superman a lot in this movie. He also kicked ass. Batman was cool too. I will say he's probably the one character that I wish I saw more of in this movie. But I understand it being like an ensemble piece, you know, it had to focus on these other characters, and everybody already knows Batman. So I understand why they did that. But I just kind of wish we got a little bit more of him. Aquaman was pretty cool in here. Kind of same thing with Batman. I wish they showed a little bit more of him. But, you know, we got enough towards to where I am satisfied with what we got. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and also the Flash. I actually found the Flash to be somewhat bearable in this movie. He's not always cracking these super awkward jokes, and you know, all the shit that he was saying in the original 2017 movie, I just wanted to punch a guy in the fucking face. They tried making him like a comic relief character, and it just did not work. But yeah, I felt like his character really worked in this movie. He did crack some jokes here and there, but you know, none of them I felt like took me out of it, luckily. So yeah, I actually did not mind his character at all. Also, the Flash has a scene at the end of this movie. I'm not going to spoil it. This will be a spoiler-free review, by the way. But the Flash has a scene at the end of this movie that is not in the original cut, and it's one of my favorite scenes in any superhero movie to come out in recent years. It's just, I have not seen a superhero movie be that bold in such a long time. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The Flash has like a little scene at the end, but it's just, I'm so glad that superhero movies are doing this now. They're being like this again, because I've missed this. This is what I've been craving after all these years, is for superhero movies to fucking be like this. As far as Steppenwolf goes, he does look a lot cooler. His design is definitely very different, and he just looks more badass. He also actually kind of feels like a villain in here. He's definitely a lot more menacing. He probably is the weakest character in the film other than Lois Lane, but we'll get into that in a bit. And he does say some kind of cringy lines here and there where I'm just kind of like, alright, what? Like, god, there's a fucking airplane, dude. Where? This shit's crazy, dude. There's so many airplanes. God damn. Lois Lane, from what I remember, does get a little bit more screen time as well. Although I will say she's probably the weakest character in this movie. I love Amy Adams. I think she's great. She's a great actress. But she's just not right for this role, I don't think. And also, there's nothing about Lois Lane's character, at least in this DCU, that I find particularly interesting at all. I don't find her character interesting. She's just kind of there. I did like the fact that, you know, I think in the 2017 Justice League, she was like back at work, and she even meets up with Martha, and they have like a little talk at her work. But in this movie, it's completely different, where you can obviously see the effect that the death of Superman has had on her, as she has not been to work in a couple days, you know, because she's grieving, and you can tell that she's really affected by his death. And she also has a really cool scene with Martha in this movie as well, which I really liked. But I mean, other than that, she's just kind of there. I just wish that we got more of her character as well. Probably more of her character than any other character in this movie, especially if they're gonna do like what they said they were gonna do with Justice League 2. Apparently she was supposed to be a very vital part of Justice League 2, so if they were trying to lead up to that, then I would have definitely liked to see more character development of her in this movie. And we actually get to see Darkseid in here, and Darkseid's pretty fucking cool. He feels like a fucking villain. It's awesome. He's so menacing. He's just this big fucking dude. All the scenes with Darkseid in this movie were fucking great. He's a cool guy. I like Darkseid. As far as the general premise goes of like these 3 mother boxes, for those of you who don't know, there's these 3 mother boxes in the film. Apparently Darkseid and like some of his allies thousands of years ago were trying to get these 3 mother boxes because with the 3 mother boxes combined together, they can destroy the world or something. I honestly kind of forget. It doesn't really matter because these boxes just kind of serve as MacGuffins of like, oh, these are the things that are important in the movie that these superheroes are after and the villains are after. It's a MacGuffin. It's just your typical MacGuffin. As far as the general premise goes, it's nothing special. It's just kind of like your standard superhero stuff. It works for the movie, and luckily, you know, the fact that I actually cared about a lot of the characters in this movie kind of worked a little bit better. And as mentioned, Cyborg does have a lot more to do with this story and the 3 mother boxes in general. And I think the fact that they included Cyborg into this, you know, little plot of the 3 mother boxes, I think that helped it a lot. And it just added a lot more depth to the character in the story. And yeah, I think they handled that very well. Also, the 3rd act of this movie, fucking great. I love the 3rd act of this movie. It's so badass. Vastly different from the 2017 Justice League. Vastly different. It almost feels like a completely different ending. It feels like you're not even watching the same ending. In the 2017 one, there's this random fucking Russian family that appeared out of nowhere that was very obviously included by Joss Whedon. I don't know why he put the Russian family in there. Like, maybe he was trying to make up for the fact that, like, you know, a lot of people complained in Man of Steel that the whole fucking city was destroyed and so many lives were lost, and maybe he included this family as a way to show like, oh, the Justice League doesn't do that. They don't kill people. They care for people. But yeah, there's no random Russian families in here. The color palette looks a lot different. Just the ending to this movie looks so much more cooler. Everything is just so dark and gritty, and like I was just fucking in. Like I was invested. I was up for what was going on in here. There was a lot going on, and I was a happy guy just watching the screen, you know, just looking at all the pretty shit that was going on. Anyways, I could go on forever about talking this movie, but I'm just gonna kind of wrap it up because I feel like I've been talking a lot more than I wanted to. But overall, huge improvement over the 2017 version. Huge improvement. In fact, after watching this movie, I lowered my grade for the 2017 Justice League movie. Originally, I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's going down to a 3. Justice League 2017 is a fucking 3 out of 10. This movie, better in just about every possible aspect. Everything is so much more fleshed out and contextualized, and it just makes for a significantly better and much different experience than whatever the 2017 movie gave us. Honestly, for that, I'm gonna give the film an 8 out of 10. I really liked this new Zack Snyder's Justice League. I can finally see his vision. I can see what he's doing. I can see what he was going for. And to be honest with you, I 100% would not mind sequels. I would not mind a trilogy to this movie at all. I would not mind that. I would actually love to watch a sequel to this movie. I cannot tell you how rare it is for me to say that, especially in a superhero movie nowadays, that I am actually looking forward to watching a sequel. And I can totally understand the frustration of these fans. Apparently Warner Brothers has moved on from the DCU. They want to do different and better things. That's why they're doing all this standalone like Joker movie and the standalone Batman movie with Robert Pattinson coming out. I don't know what direction they're going exactly, since according to them these are like standalone movies that have nothing to do with anything. They're just their own thing. So like I don't know if that means they're gonna come back to working on the DCU, although Zack Snyder has claimed that he has no plans on working on sequels, which is very unfortunate because I would have loved to see, you know, his vision come to an end, you know, his story come to an end with this Justice League trilogy that he was planning on doing. And I think it's a shame that, you know, Warner Brothers, you know, especially after seeing this Zack Snyder cut come out, according to Zack Snyder, they're not really giving him the chance to complete his vision, which is kind of shitty, honestly. And I think that Warner Brothers should give the guy another chance. You know, of course, if everybody else is on board, I know there's a lot of fucking actors in the movie and stuff who would also have to be on board in order for this to work. But, you know, looking at behind the scenes footage and shit on YouTube, it looks like everybody was having a good time. It feels like a sequel is kind of what this movie needs. Sorry, I had to change the battery for my camera. These videos always end up going so long, much longer than I want them to, and I always have to end up changing the battery, and then that always fucks up like my camera and like how it looks and, you know, the framing, and Anyways, also I might have been out of focus this whole video. I'm not totally sure. I might have been out of focus. I need to step my game up. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. I'm trying my best here. But anyways, Justice League, cool shit. What was I talking about? As somebody who is a bit indifferent towards Zack Snyder and his movies, I will say this is probably his best and most personal film. He did dedicate this movie to his daughter, and I even recall him saying in like an interview or something that this movie is a part of her, and you know, he needed to complete this movie as also a way to kind of come into terms of, you know, all the shit that's just kind of going on in his life right now. So I'm just really glad that the guy got the movie out there, and I'm glad that he got complete creative control when making this movie. It definitely clearly shows. I can see like the vision that he's going for now. I can see the direction he's taking with it now, and honestly, I would love to see more. I would love to see more. I want to see the Snyder Cut universe. I want to see that shit. That would be cool. If all the movies are going to be like this, yes, give me more of this. It's still not a perfect movie. I still have a lot of problems with it, but it is miles better than what the 2017 film was, and is also, in my opinion, better than a lot of the MCU movies that are coming out nowadays. That's just my take. If I saw news and headlines in the future that Zack Snyder was making sequels to his Justice League movie, I would genuinely stand up and clap for the guy. I'd be like, woo! Fuck yeah, Zack! And then I would sit back down and go about my day. But yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video on this because the movie genuinely surprised me. And I think, you know, if you're somebody who is skeptical of watching this because, you know, of the abomination that was the 2017 movie, and also, you know, this is coming from somebody who didn't particularly care for Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. I'm sorry if you guys are fans of that, but it's just, those movies are not really for me. This movie's miles better than what those movies are, in my opinion, and I think they just need to give the guy complete creative freedom in order to make the story that he wants to make. You know, why not? Fuck it. People love this movie. Why not let him finish the story that he's trying to tell, you know? And like I said, unfortunately, there were headlines saying that Zack Snyder had no plans of making sequels, and he even kind of leaked the plot synopsis of both Justice League 2 and 3, what they would have been. So seeing that those have been leaked kind of tells me that there's a good possibility that they're just never gonna happen, which is very unfortunate. But you know, I'm glad that we got what we got. This was enough to show me that, you know, of what Zack Snyder is capable of, and you know, the story that he was trying to tell. And for that, I thank him for making such a bold and ambitious superhero movie, a superhero movie that I've been trying to see for such a long time now. I do think it is a tad too long. I don't think it needs to be 4 hours, and honestly, he needs to grow up and stop doing those, you know, fucking weird slow-mo music video shots of people looking broody. But no, the movie looks great. I'm really happy with how it turned out overall. That's all I kind of have to say. That's kind of all I wanted to say, honestly. I just am surprised by this movie, so much so that apparently I had to make a video out of it. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, anyways, back to our regularly scheduled programming. As I was mentioning, I am in the middle of making 2 other videos on top of this one, so I am going to be releasing more videos in the future. Sorry they're taking such a long time to come out. I'm really trying my best, you know, trying to juggle this with school and work and stuff, but they're coming, I promise you. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Yeah.